This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one website building platform designed to help you succeed selling your artwork, making a portfolio, building your business, and more.
Hello there, how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. So recently, Crayola announced that they would be re-releasing some of their retired colours, aka some of the crayons they stopped making a couple of decades ago, they would be releasing again in a new pack for us to buy. So I knew when they made this announcement that I had to find a pack and try it for myself. Unfortunately, I did not quite realise how difficult this task was going to be, because when I went to try and purchase them online, it either said out of stock or coming soon. So I decided to go on a really lengthy journey, checking out every single store I possibly could until I found these crayons. So I started off at my first destination, Walmart, and they were literally just on an end cap.
Literally the first shop I checked in is right here.
It didn't say they were in stock online, but they were there, like on an end cap. First shop I went in. So, I mean, it really wasn't that big of a deal in the end anyway, but I wholeheartedly had every plan to spend every day that I possibly could until I found these crayons. Did I find the highly sought after 8-pack of retired colours? No, I did not. But I did find a 32-pack, which includes all 8 of the retired colours, as well as a bunch of crayons that I really don't care about, because I'm only after the retired ones here. I also purchased the 8-pack of markers with just all 8 of those retired colours, as well as their limited edition collection of coloured pencils. I think the most beloved crayon of all of these crayons would be Dandelion. Now, Dandelion was developed in 1990, and it was very popular with people. People loved this shade of yellow for some reason. They just loved the colour of it. So when they announced in 2017 that they would be getting rid of Dandelion to replace it with another blue, people were not happy. So they did this whole retirement tour for Dandelion.
My Roman Empire is the Dandelion Crayon Retirement Tour of 2017. In 2009, Oregon State University discovered this brand new blue pigment. Crayola was like, we need to use this new pigment and turn it into a crayon to put in the 24 packs. So that meant they had to get rid of a color that was already in the 24 packs, and they chose to get rid of Dandelion.
They released a 3-pack of crayons. People started big collections of Dandelion the crayon because they just loved it so much. In fact, Dandelion Girl is hugely viral because of her love of Dandelion the crayon. She has a ginormous shrine to this crayon, and when Crayola announced they were going to be bringing back these shades for a limited time only, she was invited to an event in New York City. Like, how cool is that? She was literally invited by Crayola to celebrate Dandelion coming out of retirement, but not for long. It's not permanent. These babies right here are the 8 retired colours. They all have the same paper wrapping around them. This is Blizzard Blue, and this colour was actually released in 1972, and then it was retired in 2003. Magic Mint was retired in 2003 as well, and is apparently a fluorescent colour. This one is Mulberry. This was actually released in 1958 and then retired again in 2003. Violet Blue was actually released in 1958, and then it was also retired in 1990. This one in particular was actually replaced by Fuchsia. Orange Red also released in 1958 and then retired in 1990. Lemon Yellow was actually released in 1903 and then retired in 1990. 2003 and 1990, they were really shifting around their colours. I don't know why, but they were really like changing things up a little bit. This one was also replaced by a teal blue, which it seems like Crayola like to replace yellows with blues. And I feel like I distinctly remember being a kid and feeling like there was no decent like brick red in my Crayola crayons. Like, they would look red, but they wouldn't actually be very red. So I'm not sure if that's changed in the last few years, because I look at Orange Red and I'm like, that looks like the red I always wanted. Raw Amber is also a very, very old crayon. It was actually released into a set in 1908 and then retired in 1990. And last but not least, we have Dandelion. I don't think Crayola quite realized at the time that Dandelion was such a popular color. So while most of us would look at these crayons and just think they're just old crayons that don't exist anymore, for a lot of people, this is nostalgia in a box. You know, people have collections of these crayons because they love it so much. And I think internet hype for sure has played a big part in this. And there are far, far more retired colors than just these 8. There are actually over 500 retired Crayola crayons. And it kind of gets to a point where you're like, how many different shades of crayons can there possibly be? And I'm pretty sure there's definitely some sort of overlap there of colors that look basically exactly the same, just have different names. Let's swatch these, see how similar they are between mediums too, like markers versus pencils versus crayons. I want to see if these colors really live up to the hype that people give them, or if it's just a matter of, we can't buy these anymore, so I want them. I, for one, am just very excited to be trying out a color that I have never used before. Since most of these colors were retired before I was even born, are they just gonna seem like regular crayons to me? Probably. But I'm excited for a bit of nostalgia here, and to see how well they've actually translated the colors between mediums like pencils, markers, and crayons. Okay, let's start out with the crayons first. Okay, not a fan of that colour actually, so not surprised that retired. Okay, interesting. Ooh, this one's nice. That's a nice one. That's my favourite one so far. Okay, we go with Dandelion. Oh yeah, that is actually a really nice colour. I can see why people are upset they got rid of that, to be honest. It is a very nice golden yellow, but maybe the hype's getting to me. Maybe it's actually not as good as I think it is. It's just the hype of it. But it is a really nice golden yellow, I will say. It's going to be better than this one. This lemon yellow does not look that great. Ew, yeah, Dandelion's far better than that one. I feel like this is just the colour of every red in my crayon set as a kid. This kind of like purplish red. And then we have orange red. Okay, so those are the crayon colours. Dandelion is definitely a very pretty yellow, I will say. I can understand why people really liked it. I would say Dandelion, Violet Blue, and probably Orange Red or Mulberry are the nicest ones in this set. I feel like these are very wishy-washy colours, which were probably replaced by better colours. Okay, let's try the pencils now. They actually did a really good job of making the colour very, very close to the crayon version. Like, you can tell it's the same colour. Sometimes different mediums in the same colour come out a little bit different, but these are like identical. They did a really good job with that. I am very surprised they put two yellows in this though. Like, I wonder why they put Dandelion and lemon yellow in and not maybe a different green or even like a different red or maybe a pink. Okay, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Can't complain at that. We just talk about these markers though. I love the style of these. I wish these were always like this. I much prefer the look of these classic markers. Also, look how beautiful these colours are together. They're so vintage, I love it. This one's very different actually. This marker compared to these is a very different colour. This one's warmer versus these. It's just the tone is different. That's pretty much the only thing I've noticed so far. I actually prefer the look of the marker to these, but this is a different colour for sure. There we have it. What do you think of the colours so far? All of the mediums are pretty cohesive, I will say. Pretty impressed with that. The only one that's not the best is lemon yellow of the marker, but I prefer the colour of the marker to the lemon yellow of the pencil or the crayon. Okay, so now I'm going to actually try them out for real. I thought it'd be fun to take one of the pages from my book here and fill it in. Technically, this is supposed to be done in order. It's like a storyline. So I'm actually going to use the crayons in this scene. The reason being, it literally says using only crayons complete the underwater scene. But I thought it'd be fun to really give these crayons a good go and just see how the scene turns out. Not really a fan of this colour, to be honest, but that's okay. I might go deeper blue the closer to the bottom we get. How does one blend a crayon? That is the question.
Okay, so I think it's pretty obvious that I am no crayon connoisseur here. Like, I really admire people who make, well, stuff like this, but I have a plan. Obviously, I'm relatively limited by the colours I have here, but I knew this page was perfect to try out for the crayons. And yes, this was my attempt at a blend with crayons. Don't judge, just trust the process. It'll get a little bit better. Not significantly, but it will get better. Despite the fact I was colouring with crayons that technically don't exist anymore, I think the one that really made me like, whoa, this is cool, is the raw umber crayon. It seems to be the oldest crayon, and I can't really find a solid answer on it. Okay, actually, now I'm looking again and editing this. It says re-released in 1991 in a limited edition 8-pack, in 1998 in a limited edition 40th anniversary 64-pack, in 2003 in a limited edition 12-pack, in 2008 in a limited edition 50th anniversary 64-pack, and in 2025 in a limited edition 8-pack. So it's actually not that special after all, like I was led to believe before. But still, it's kind of cool because it was one of the first crayons. This colour was in the original first set of Crayola Crayon 1908 packs. Are there probably 100 other brown crayons that look just like it? Most likely, but the vibe is there. I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't like this pale blue. It's kind of a weak shade of blue that's just, I don't know, like, it doesn't go on well. I had to apply a second layer. I see why this one was retired. It should just stay there, in my opinion. Like, go have a nice retirement crayon, please. Just have a nice time. We don't need you back in the workforce. Okay, here comes the satisfying part. Using a plastic mixing knife, I scraped off that top layer of crappy crayon that no one really, I mean, some people might like it, but I personally think it looks rubbish. And then you just scrape it off and, oh wow, look at that. It's brown, but like a better brown. Like that doesn't look good. This looks nice though. At least I think it does. And I'm going to be honest with you, I really like Dandelion. There's a part of me that was like, look, it's clearly like a big thing because of social media. Nobody really cares that much about one specific yellow crayon, right? Before the internet blew it up, I feel like it was just, you know, oh, it's a nice yellow. People like it, but I can't lie. It is a beautiful colour, and despite me trying hard to be like, this isn't the best colour in the set, I don't know. Am I biased because of the fact that it's so praised online? Or is it just a yellow, you know? Is it just a nice sunshiny yellow, you know? Surely out of the hundreds of colours they retired, there is a yellow that's basically the same as this one, no? You know how people just want things they can't have? Is it a case of that, or is it just, oh, this is actually a really nice crayon? You know how people just want things they can't have? Is it a case of that, or is it just, oh, it's hard to get, therefore it's the best? I will say I love nostalgia. Old retired crayons brought back is definitely nostalgic. And I think Crayola are really smart to do it. You know, what better way to make people buy crayons they don't need than by bringing back classics they couldn't buy in the first place. What makes Crayola crayons so cool is the fact they have been around through everyone's childhood, basically. My grandparents were born decades after Crayola was founded. They were founded 14 years before my great-grandma was born. It's just such a cool part of people's childhoods. Okay, it's that time again where I talk about one of my favourite brands, Squarespace, who are kindly sponsoring today's video. You've heard me talk about them many times in the past, but genuinely, I only ever promote brands that I know, I use, I love. And especially since I know a lot of you are artists, I know that you will love all of the features that Squarespace offers and provides. Your website can be all in one, so you can create an online store or portfolio, offer services to your clients and customers, utilize SEO tools by Squarespace, which is also a really cool feature they have. With SEO tools, every website is optimized to be indexed with meta descriptions, an auto-generated sitemap, and more, so it makes it a lot easier for people to find you in search engines and bring in your ideal customers. My favorite feature, of course, from Squarespace is the ability to make an online store, so whether you offer services, sell products, or do both, Squarespace gives you everything you need to grow your business and get paid all in one place. You can create a beautifully designed website, portfolio, and add your online store, which is what I do. With easy online payments and built-in tools for inventory, shipping, and fulfillment, you can simplify your workflow and give customers a seamless shopping experience. I'm also really excited later on in the year to start creating classes, and Squarespace is the place that is going to be the easiest for me to provide this. So if you're an artist or a professional yourself, or you want to offer your services, classes, you can also do that on Squarespace. So if you want to check out Squarespace for yourself, go to squarespace.com/CHLOEROSEART to save 10% off your first purchase of a website and domain. And thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. And I feel like it's one of the few still relatively affordable things that you can buy for your own kids these days. And it's also basically impossible to recreate too. You know, I'm looking at you, RoseArt crayons. You can't live up to the Crayola hype. Even though crayons aren't my favourite thing to use as an adult, because, I mean, there's at least 10 other mediums that are, in my opinion, so much better than this. I genuinely really enjoyed this, and I was very glad that I put this page in my book. Also, you're well in your right to judge this blend. Yikes, okay? It is impossible to blend with these two colours. I dare you buy a set of these and try to blend with them, okay? You can't, it's not possible. I mean, it might be, but it's not for me. Sorry, excuse me, I have crayons up my nose apparently. Let me know if you have tips of how to blend these, because I honestly have just no idea.
Okay, so these are the crayons. They're quite well loved now, and I've honestly seen some people make masterpieces with crayons. I don't know how the heck they do it, but I wanted to do something a little more simple. This is just a simple activity page. But yeah, this was really fun to do. I've been wanting to do this prompt page for a while, and you know what? It was a perfect opportunity to do it. I'm sure there are many people out there who like using crayons very frequently and would do a much better job than I did with this. But it was just a fun, simple page, and I really love the colours. It's very vintage, I think. Also made a massive mess. Let me know know what you think in the comments down below. What your thoughts are on this re-release with the crayons coming out of retirement. Do you think these colors should be brought back permanently? Which color is your favorite out of all of these colors? And if you've purchased a pack yourself, let me know what your plan is to do with it. Are you gonna just vacuum seal it in your basement and keep it pristine? Or are you gonna use the heck out of them? Because most of these colors came out before a lot of us were even born. But yes, thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video.